something I really wanted to say to you because I want to give it to you the way I got it. You know, it kind of just really hit me within the last 6 months. I kid you not. Just kind of really it hit me of late, I guess I'm saying.
There are moments that try the human soul so violently and so perplexing that if the truth were told, all of us have had moments that we wanted to throw up our hands and walk away.
Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
Let your dreams motivate you. Go through your list of dreams you jotted down and how they've evolved since you were a child. What dreams are you still hanging on to and which ones had you forgotten about or ignored and want to revive? Doing something big, creating something of your own, starting over, making a splash. That's exciting. Those sort of things keep your mind moving and your heart pumping.
It's something that I learned, man. I got it a couple of ways. I was watching this movie. I was reading this book. I kind of got it a couple of ways, but it came to me, it just dawned on me how correct it was and how oftentimes I've shot myself in the foot. How many times I had blocked so many blessings that could have come my way had I just been a little bit more of this. And I learned it and I stopped blocking them, you know, and it's starting to really open up the pipeline into my life, the pipeline of blessings. You know, it could be whatever you need. It could be money, it could be family, it could be relationship, it could be education, it could be peace, it could be relevance, it could be any number of things, whatever you hope for is that you consider success. It don't have to be money, but
particularly painful is discouragement in the life of the believer. Because as we travel from season to season, it is not just the perils that we face, but it is seeing the wicked go forward while the righteous are held back. Discouragement can creep in secretly, hide behind clothes, makeup, hairdos.
If that's on your list, you can get some of that too. But listen to me. Gratitude is the best gift that you can give yourself. What? That don't make no sense, Steve. Yes, it does. Gratitude is the best gift you can give yourself. It really is, man. Gratitude is the best gift that you can give to yourself. See, don't you get it? If you're grateful for what you have, for whatever it is, you open up the pipeline for more to come in. Let me tell you why. Because you're not complaining about what you have. Oftentimes, we can't show gratitude. We don't have time to be thankful, or we can't give a full compliment of appreciation because we complaining. Man, I don't ever get this. I only got this. My car can only go this far.
Discouragement is so bold that it will even hide behind a smile. It will always ride to work with you. And if it doesn't catch a ride going to work, it'll catch a ride on the way back home. Discouragement will go into a tent. It will walk right into a Section 8 neighborhood. But don't think that it stops. Discouragement will walk right into a middle-class house. It won't just stop there. It'll go in a mansion and sit on the side of a jacuzzi and tell you life is not worth living. If you listen at discouragement, it will cause you to make bad decisions. It will cause you to think that life is not worth living. And secretly, behind the facade of a smile and a good morning and a praise the Lord and a how are you.
You don't need coffee to pursue your dreams. The adrenaline is built into them. Think about how excited you get, thinking or talking about them, planning to achieve them, working toward them. If you identify your dreams and you are certain they are yours and not someone else's, and that by pursuing them you're pursuing your purpose, then you won't need external motivators to chase them down. Dreams are inherently inspirational. Draw your inspiration and motivation from them.
You know what the coolest thing in the world to me was? When I was a kid, it wasn't an interception. I used to go across the track in my neighborhoods, and there was a swimming pool, right? And I used to go by the swimming pool, and I would stand on the fence, and I would see a father, and when he would grab a kid, whether it was his son or his daughter, and he would throw the kid up in the air, and he would catch him, and the kid would laugh, and I would be like, man, I can't wait until I get a family one day so I could throw my kids up and catch them in the pool, right? I can't wait until I can hug my mother with 2 arms, hug my wife, hug my 3 little sisters with 2 arms, and it's things that people take for granted every single day. And so when I said to him physically, I'm like, JD, all of those things are eliminated. I said, but I will use this arm in his hand every day of my life for the rest of my life because I would never allow a situation or circumstance to define my life. I said, JD, what better way for God to show up than in the midst of the opposition? What better way for God to prove his power and his grace than in the midst of the adversity? I said, JD, what better way for God to work in the lives of those I'm connected to than in the midst of the opposition?
And it's not how much you have, it's what you do with what you have. Don't confuse movement with progress. To achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. What an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward.
She says, boy, you're going to speak to millions of people. He says, you're going to travel the world.
The world needs a lot, and we need it from you. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. Hard work works.
The only thing I've ever done was stay out of God's way and say, God, you're going in that direction? Okay, cool, let's rock. God, you want to do this with my life? Cool, let's rock. I never wanted to speak. They put me in public speaking in college. I dropped the class on the second day. I despised it. As I was walking out of the class, I said to my buddy, I was like, man, I'll never be needing that. And the coach was on the other side of me, and he said, Inky, you never know, until the point of complete confusion. Because as people, what do? We try to control, like in certain areas of life, they'll call it controlling the narrative, right? When you try to jump out in front of situations, opposition, trouble, and you try to control it. Like if we walked out of this building right now, we walked down to the high school with 10 people, and we said, okay, when we get to the high school, I want 5 people to go right, I want 5 people to go left. Everybody will probably turn around and say, why? Why do you want me to go left? Why? Why should I trust you to walk down to the high school? We want to control the narrative. We want to know what's next. And so when my injury happened,
Put God first. Dreams without goals are just dreams. Don't be afraid to fail big. And let me tell you, the world needs your talents, man, does it ever. So you got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got. The most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Say thank you for grace. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for wisdom. Thank you for humility. Thank you for peace. Thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. Everything that I have is by the grace of God. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. But I see you today.
You can have all the talent in the world, but without passion, fueling it, directing it, driving it, and maximizing it. Your talent is on life support. You have it, but you don't quite know what to. Go motivate yourself. Stop chasing gurus and do the hard work 91. Do with it. You don't feel compelled to use it or develop it, and it atrophies. You may have talent to play the saxophone, but if you're not passionate about playing it, you'll never practice and never realize how good you could become. Remember that there is often overlap between our talents and passions, so focus on that and use your passions to invigorate and drive your talents. You have to want to use your talents to accomplish a goal. Without that desire, your talents will be underutilized, if utilized at all.